Well, ladies and gentlemen, FrozenStag here, and welcome to a brand new series for Crusader Kings 2, a Game of Thrones. This is the House of the Dragon series. Now, what this series is essentially a long series, I won't lie, it's going to be probably quite long, where we play as most Targaryens or Valyrian houses from the not Bleeding Years, what is it, the Century of Blood, up until the Feast of Crows, and maybe some other start dates after then. So essentially we're playing as Valyrian houses, Targaryens, mostly Targaryens, and a couple of Valyrian houses here and there. In this first episode we'll be playing as Orin Varazes, the, self-proclaimed emperor that raised up his army at Cahor with his one of his last massive dragons. And he attempted to, he basically, in canon lore-wise, he went and attacked, went to Valyria and tried to reclaim what was lost and whatnot to probably see what the hell happened. Now, in canon, he died, and, well, I'm going to say he's dead, but in canon, he disappeared into Valyria. I'm going to assume he's dead. Like, if we're going to the book timeline, he's definitely dead. Like this, unless he's like a 400-year-old immortal man still alive. But in my head, he's dead. Maybe he's that Valyrian disfigured silent monster guy that tries to kill you. Maybe it's him, whenever you go to Valyria. I have no idea. But yeah, so obviously we're using probably just one mod and a few sub-mods. I'll go ahead and show you now. Now we have the DLCs for one, apart from a few like heavy metal music packs, which I don't care that much about. I'm not paying them. Not paying for them. They just take me out of the immersion of Game of Thrones and CK2 in the medieval era by putting in metal. Just doesn't really work. But I can understand that people do like that. But the mods we're using is obviously Game of Thrones. We're using the Bloodline submod, the Continental Overhaul, which adds in a few new things and traits and hairstyles. The Owl Faces, which basically makes that place playable. Well, not playable, just gives it a region, an actual like landmasser. Knights of the Sword Tower, which is a Kingsguard submod. A more Bloodline submod adds in more Bloodlines, more bookmarks adds in the bookmarks, like more ones I show. Naughty Events, I'm going to assume that means Naughty Events. I'm not entirely sure about that submod does, but I guess we'll find out. No Pretend Your Opinion, no Reformation, so you can reform most religions. Special buildings, more buildings to build. Squires and Wards, add some more training system for your wards and squires. Cruel World makes the game a little harder, kills people off a bit easier. No artifact losing, stops you losing artifacts after you die. Because some artifacts go missing, and the Personal Castle submod, which adds in a few more buildings for us to build. Now, I'm going to quickly show you, I've got a save, because I've obviously customized the game, as I tend to do with most of my series. But I'll show you some of the new bookmarks and whereabouts this series will go. So obviously Century of Blood, starting with Orin. I probably might even do a fun little thing with Aenar, maybe, to see if Aenar, perhaps, maybe in the reign of his son, Gaiman, maybe try and conquer Westeros, but like in this time period, which is kind of interesting. That's an alternate thing. It's not going to be like historically canon, because CK2 isn't very like the events aren't going to go historical unless you play Hearts of Iron 4, where sometimes it does. But in this game it won't. So I'm going to play as characters throughout the time period and just skip ahead to say Orin to Aenar, then to eventually Aegon the Conqueror. The Targaryens do basically nothing from the Century of Blood to the Bleeding Years, till Aegon gets involved in New Valyria, a new Valyrian conflict, and then eventually till Aegon conquers Westeros. The Targaryens do nothing, which I always look at and think, why the hell did the Targaryens do nothing for 100 and something, like 100 years of nothing? Like, wouldn't the Targaryens have thought, maybe let's go west and attack? But that didn't happen. Aegon did it. Took him 100 years to conquer Westeros, which I always think is a bit odd. Maybe, really? Okay. But yeah, Aegon the Conqueror is probably the next target. There's a few Valyrian Dragon Lords around in this time period that I may possibly play as. If there's something I can do that's kind of interesting, I might look into playing as them, potentially. But we'll see. The War of Conquest, you've got the Sons of the Conqueror, which is a time period where Maegor's embroiled in a few wars. Aenys has got the Vulture King uprising. Then you can go to the Faith Militant uprising with Maegor the Cruel and Aegon. You've got the Lord Rogar's War. You've got Dance of Dragons, the Fall of the Three Daughters. The Conquest of Dawn, the Holy King, Blackfire Rebellion. There's a few of the other small rebellions. These rebellions here, I've already ruled players like... With regards to the rebellions, like the Blackfires are players... I play one like episode as a Dame as probably the Blackfires, and another as the Targaryens. I think that's the best way to explore both time periods. I will probably make it like for the third and fourth rebellions, I will probably edit it a bit to make it a little bit, you know, winnable for the Blackfires. The Blackfires start with 10,000 guys against fucking the entire Westeros, and their only hope is if a few minor lords join. I've never seen the Lord Paramounts join. If they do, it's very rare, but yeah. So it might likely make it easier. Obviously, we won't play as the Baratheons. I'll do that in a separate, like, House of the Stag, where we play as the Durandons and the Baratheons. Even though the Baratheons are a canon branch of the Targaryens, I probably won't play as them. And you got the Robert's Rebellion, Clash of Kings, Feast of Crows, etc. But yeah, quickly we'll show you, just to demonstrate, what these are the rules that we're playing on. I'll let you pause the video to go through those, but essentially I'm going for these. This is what I want. I left the Sunset Invasion on because it could be kind of interesting if we play after 75 years, which I don't know if we will. We'll see. Yeah, most of this is just to make the game a bit harder, make the game... I like the game harder. I have been playing this game for years. I've got, I don't know if it will show you, 2,000, nearly 3,000 hours in this game. So, like, this game isn't very hard. Like, I know this game off the back of my head. Back of my hand, probably. Yeah, there you go. That's all the stuff there. And that's the artifact one, which just basically makes things not disappear when they die, unless it's a duplicate or something, I guess. But yeah. So we're playing as House of Erases. Now, I've already set up a few things, and the the game's crashed. Excellent start. Yeah, I should probably state, the game's not entirely stable. Well, I mean, it's stable, but, like, I mean, I get to really, like, do some thorough testing. But it's stable. Like, it's just, for some reason, whenever you back out of the game, back out of a character screen, it just tends to crash for some reason, which I don't know why that is. Maybe it's all the sub-mods we got on, but we'll see. But yeah, I'll go through the backstory of what I've set up with Orin Varese. Now, the Varese dynasty, if you go back to the other earliest submods, now I will state the earliest submods, I did ponder potentially starting maybe the Giscari Wars, because that obviously is an earlier time period for the Valyrian Empire. But the Valyrian Empire is so overpowered that, like, the Giscari War, yes, they have like 20,000 more men than the Valyrians, but you have dragons, and the dragons just rape everybody. Like, there's no... I played a bit as the Giscari Empire, and the Valyrian, it was just an absolutely easy win. And also for some reason, the Valyrian, like, freehold is sort of like a weird succession system where, like, if your character dies, a different family take over, and then they rule until that family member dies, and then another family takes over. It's a bit like a Merchant Republic, although it's sort of like Valyria is more of like a big freehold in the early Empire, which is kind of cool. I guess it probably makes it less OP, I suppose. Now, where to begin? Now, Orin was sent off. Now, Orin's a good friend of the Emperor of Valyria, who is called Rhaegar. Rhaegar Beleris. Rhaegar Beleris' daughter he had a bit of falling out with his daughter, who decided to take a dragon and fly all the way south to Sephoros. Her name was Gennara Beleris, I'm pretty sure, but yeah, she went south to Sephoros, never to be seen again. Now, I won't bring her into this story just yet. I will in a later time period, but in my headcanon, the Beleris don't know what the hell happened to Valyria. They're still far in the Sephoros somewhere. So, yeah. But in my headcanon, I'm going to bring the Beleris dynasty, the Beleris family into this House of Dragon series at some point in this thing, so just stay tuned for that. Yeah. So the Beleris are on the south, they've gone, basically. For those that are a little unfamiliar with this time period, the Valyrian freehold has collapsed. The 14 flames have erupted. The sorcerers and warlocks and whatnot that was sort of keeping the 14 flames at bay because they were extremely powerful volcanoes. And it didn't help when the Valyrians decided that with all their slaves that they got from the Giscari Wars and Rhoynar and whatnot, and most of Essos, that they got their slaves to mine the depths of Valyria to find more ores and diamonds, all that riches and whatnot. They delved too deep. Sounds familiar, right? You can see where George R. R. Martin got his inspiration from. But they delved too deep, and eventually the sorcerers and warlocks had to intervene to step in and to deal with this because they delved so deep that the 14 flames started to get more unstable, and the volcano is very close to erupting. So what had to be done is that these sorcerers and warlocks basically stayed there, and to keep the Dutons at bay with buildings and towers they constructed to hold the 14 flames from erupting. Now in Bravos, was a free city, one of the free cities that arrived that didn't have Valyrian, like, I don't know, because the Valyrians basically created Volantis, Mir, Lys, Tyrosh, Pentos, Norvos, Cahor, I think Cahor, Norvos, and Lorath. No, I think Lorath and Norvos were on their own. I think they came on their own. Bravos was founded by slaves that broke off a ship that was, I think, headed somewhere. And the slaves rose up to kill the captains and took command of the vessel. And eventually they landed in Bravos and formed the Free City of Bravos. That was how that went. Now, the Free City of Bravos has the Guild of the Faceless Men. So I'm fine for you. I don't know if they're actually... maybe not. Maybe they're not here. Okay. I thought they were, actually, but it doesn't matter. The Valyrian had obviously they had the Faceless Men. And the Faceless Men... And this is a rumour that Orion's heard of, and this is, well, it's actually a rumour that is in Song of Ice and Fire. Is that the Faceless Assassin, there was a Faceless Assassin, and he went round and he assassinated one of these slaves who begged for death, essentially, and took his face. And eventually, he went around and killed off all these sorcerers and destroyed the towers, which, with the death of these sorcerers and warlocks, they couldn't hold back the 14 flames. And so, as you can imagine, the 14 flames erupted. These are 14 massive volcanoes. Now, I don't know if the Valyrians would really know what the hell volcanoes were at this point, but they were quite advanced and advanced civilization. So I would assume that the Valyrians would know what the hell these things are. And as you can imagine, the 14 flames erupted. And as you can imagine, and as some of you may know, the Krakatoa explosion over in the Indonesian area, that explosion was extremely loud. And that was one volcano. That, Germany heard a massive bang. I think sailors' ears started to bleed when they were like 40 miles away. Like, it destroyed an entire, I think the island where it was on, destroyed the whole island pretty much. And I think England, over in England you could hear the sounds of, say for Valyria's now, over in the north you'd probably hear, I think, well, further away from that really, you'd probably hear a bang and explosion and whatnot. I mean, Krakatoa has exploded before. For some reason, I've never heard the explosion sounds, though, because usually you can hear the bang, but you can't. But I can't anyway, but whatever. But so you guys can imagine, the 14 flames erupted, and it was a horrendous fucking explosion. It shattered the continent. The seas went to basically smoke or red, as you can see up here. The entire continent of Valyria went black and red and scorched to beyond recognition. Thankfully, it stopped about there, but still the Sea of Sides is still, bloody and, smoking and whatnot. It's probably it's not a good idea to go for a bath in that water anytime soon. I can't remember Gozai and Velos and these ones were actually already, destroyed, but I think, we're going to say that they were. But yeah, as you'd imagine, the 14 flames went off, and a massive explosion went off. It was huge. Ash clouds would have gone up into the sky and surrounded most of this area. You wouldn't be able to see the sky for ages. The sun, it would have been blotted out. The bang, the explosion sound would have erupted across the entire continent. I'm pretty sure when the Krakatoa exploded, that there was ripples, tsunamis that went. I think the shockwave went across the world and went around 4 times until it went out. So as you can imagine, I can only imagine that the 14 flames eruption was much fucking stronger. And probably, you would have heard it in fucking Beyond the Wall, in the mountains of the Fen. You would have heard it. You would have heard the explosion sound over in the Shy. And probably the depths of Sephoros. So I assume Gennaro Valerius probably heard of the explosion, but thought nothing of it, probably. But yeah. So there's a massive ash cloud, smoke, all sorts of shit. Obviously, something's happened to Valyria from, Astapor Marine. They've all seen something happening. If you're over in Astapor from, say, Giscari Point, you probably would have noticed a massive explosion go up. And even over in Westeros, you would have heard the explosion. But yeah, just as I'm trying to say, Valyria exploded pretty fucking hard. And Valyria was absolutely shattered to bits. And as you can imagine, the Valyrian Empire fell quite a bit. Now, in the Bleeding Years, a lot of shit happened. A lot of people were free of the Valyrian Empire that had held dominion over all of this for a while. The Sarnor Empire, the Sarnor Kingdom thrived pretty well. The Free Cities were obviously now independent and obviously weren't part of the Freehold anymore. Asaria, I think, because of the Valyrian Freehold, the Dothraki started to rise up and gain more strength. And started to turn their attention west. And started, I think Asaria fell, Hazdan fell, the Skahazdan fell to the Dothraki, and I think Sarnor fell eventually into Asaria. This land to the east here eventually fell into the hands of the Dothraki as time went on. These ruins here were lands that were obviously ruined and destroyed. The Valyrians over in the north here survived. Illyria, the Illyrians and the Tolossians and the Mantaris. They survived. In Gorgossos, they also survived too, being led by a Gorgossi lord that's taken over the area. So he rules that land now. There's a few other lands that are also part of it as well. I think this is part of, yeah. Apart from Narth, they're independent. And yeah, so 12 years before Doom, the Daenys the Dreamer, one of the ancestors of House Targaryen, went off and had a vision. They're not in control, I'll explain why in a bit. But essentially, Aenar had a vision from Daenys'... Daenys had a vision and she told her father. Aenar believed her, and as you can imagine, took his dragons, I think 4 or 5 dragons, I think it was, over to Dragonstone, and eventually they went there. And then 12 years later, the Doom went off, and they survived. That's how the Targaryens survived. Now, Rhaegar Valerius was the last of the emperors of Valyria. Now, he died. As you can imagine, he died. He died, he got fucked, and his daughter is the last living Valyrius left. Now, she took her husband. Now, I won't write that yet, because I don't know if she had a husband. But we're going to say she went south for now, and that was what she did. Maybe she took her husband, maybe she took a few people with her as well. But who knows. So I'm going to leave Valyrius that in doubt for now. If you have any ideas for me, then let me know. But I have it all sort of in my head right now. So she went south and took her dragon, and maybe some other people. Maybe other dragons went with her. Who knows? I'll probably flesh out that story at another date. We're going to focus on this current time period. Rhaegar Valerius is dead. The Valyrius dynasty is pretty much gone, apart from her, Janara in the south. And yeah, they're gone, basically. The Valyrius line died out, apart from the female line with Janara. So, as you can imagine, they're all dead. Valyria is gone, the Valyrian Empire is shattered, most of the Freehold families are dead, apart from 4. Well, 5, I guess, if you count Valyrius. 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 5. With Valyrius. So the Valyrian Freehold's dead. Now, Orin, who was a great friend to Rhaegar Valerius, was actually sent on a mission. He was a capable fighter and warrior. He has with him the Dragon Visarion, one of the strongest dragons, I think, at the moment, I'm pretty sure he's the biggest dragon. Yeah. Visarion's the biggest dragon. And there is a rebellion. Basically, the Sarnor Empire decided to try and invade Cahor. What the hell? Why has he got so many brothers? What the shit? Okay. Cool. But yeah, Sarnor tried to invade Cahor. They pushed through Asara without any issue. And basically, they attacked Cahor. Now, the Valyrian Empire sent forth 30,000 troops, led by, well, 40,000, led by Orin, to attack Sarnor. Now, Sarnor also allied itself with Asara in an attempt to try and break free from the Valyrian Empire. And a great battle took place outside of Cahor. Now, with Orin's dragon, it wasn't much of a hard battle. Still, many men died. 10,000 men perished in the battle, along with Cahor. No, 10,000 men didn't die. I've changed my mind. When the dragon arrived, the armies of Sarnor and Asara were shattered. The Asarians surrendered when Mataris actually died. Mataris died, well, I'm going to say he died in battle. And Bellico surrendered and bent the knee immediately to Orion. And basically, he swore his allegiance to the Valyrian Empire and was spared. Sarnor, the Sarnor people were attacked and killed. And the Sarnorians retreated, still having quite a big army. Most of the Sun Orients fled the field once they saw the dragon, but the 40,000 troops arrived in Cahors. Now, after what had happened, the Cahorian forces were down to 1,000 guys, so Orien replenished Cahors with 10,000 men, boosting up Cahors' army to 11,000 to keep him safe if Sarnor tries to invade again. Now, after this is done, I'm actually going to quickly do something in a minute. I was going to do this earlier, but I forgot. Now, because we saved the Cahorians, the Cohor, or however you pronounce it, we won the friendship of Master Kiran, who was very grateful that we saved him. I want to do that, please. Yeah, that's all I wanted to do. Yeah, because really, we'd be friends with us after saving us. We also formed an alliance as well, so like it's pretty fucking good marriage-wise. Probably at some point we'll probably marry someone of our, maybe a daughter or something to this guy, his heir at some point. But I think it's still a freehold, isn't it? Yeah, so it probably wouldn't be that family to hold it. But yeah, we saved the Cahorians, and the Cahorians were very happy with us. We have 30,000 troops, and basically for the time being, Orien remained in Cahors. Now also, we're going over to other dragon riders. Janaris Sonaren was currently off with his dragon, currently over in Lys, helping against a few pirates that had been raiding the shores and whatnot. So Janaris went over there. He was the second-born son of his other family, who went off, who went off and to basically form a name. At first, he went to fight pirates and whatnot, but eventually, after time went on, he got a bit bored and he detained himself at the pleasure house of Lys and basically spent most of his time there. Eventually, he became more lustful and hedonist and just basically spent most of his time in Lys, killing the odd pirates from time to time as well. But that is essentially what Janaris did. He stayed over in Lys and did that. Why is everything so loud? Just feel like the audio is a bit... That's bad. So that's what Janaris did. Now, the other was Rogar Unabar. Which, did I give him immortal? I can't remember. No. But he's quite old, so I don't know if he'll be with us that long. But he is very capable, astute. He is a very good fighter. He's a bit cruel and ruthless, but he is one of the greatest commanders in the Valyrian Empire, apart from Orien himself. But Rogar was sent over to Tyrosh to help basically Tyrosh had some issues with the Westerosi. The Durandons and the Dornish had formed a little coalition alliance to basically try and take the Stepstones. This failed, and Tyrosh didn't want to have the Stepstones. So eventually Tyrosh basically offered the pirates a chance to, if they help against basically Tyrosh intervene and help the pirates form a basically convene big alliance together with the pirate lords, and also with the help of the dragon lord, the Dornish and the Durandons were defeated. The Dornish took their defeat with pride and was like, oh well, we've been defeated, that's it. The Durandons, however, sat there and weren't very happy. And so the Durandons decided to, because they were sick of the Valyrians intervening with their plans, so the Durandons planned to do something else. The Targaryens have recently taken over Dragonstone and Driftmark and whatnot. So as you can imagine, the Durandons plotted to potentially take the Isles. However, they need a decent distraction for them to actually take the Isles and the rest of control of the dragon. So the Durandons, essentially Storm King Baldric, made a few pacts and deals. The Dornish went off. He made a few pacts. His son, Prince Durin, was married to Mina Gardner, gaining the allegiance of the Gardeners to the Durandons. Now, already Durandon was a massive powerhouse. They controlled the Riverlands, the Stormlands, and part of the Reach. He also got on a few alliances with the Lannisters, with his other son, with the Swans. So the Swans were ever loyal to the Durandons. He also granted a few alliances with the Vale. I didn't quite get an alliance with the Starks and the Ironborn because of different religions, but the Mountain Vale, the Lannisters, and the Gardeners, the Arryns, all joined together in an alliance to basically deal with the Targaryens and get rid of kick them off the shores. Now, the Cracklaw Point at the moment is sort of independent. They didn't bother helping. They weren't interested. They don't like the Durandon, so they stayed out of it. So that was the Cracklaw Baron. They stayed out of it. Or Cracklaw Baron, Cracklaw Point. That's what I mean. This is the whole region there. So yeah, when the Targaryens fled over to Dragonstone, they obviously took their dragons. Aenar himself, the Driftmark obviously held. I think it was the Valyrians that went over there first, and then eventually the Targaryens showed up and took over. And the Valyrians went over there. The Celtic Guards went over. and a few other houses which were mentioned later. But yeah, essentially Tyrosh, essentially he was the Dragon Lord I mentioned earlier, was remaining in Tyrosh for the time being. He was just there, protecting the stepstones from enemies, and basically served in the court of Arkan Eisenborough. An older man, pretty much, so probably wouldn't be leading very long. And obviously the other guy was over in Lys, not doing a lot, just sort of whoring and whatnot, and protecting it from pirates now and again, and potentially corsairs from the Summer Isles. So that was where the other lords were. Now, when Valyria blew up, it was pretty fucking noticeable and obvious that obviously something happened to the continent. Orion was like, holy shit, what the hell's happened? And it's blown up. It's pretty clear it's blown up. So most people saw it. Orion saw the ash clouds from Cahor and heard the explosion. Lys, because of how like you are, I mean, you could probably see Valyria from probably where Lys is, and you probably would have definitely seen the smoke would have rising up. So I can imagine the other guy, the whore, the guy that's been whoring himself to death almost, saw this. Tyrosh, you probably couldn't quite see it as much, but still you would have seen the ash clouds. The Targaryens probably heard of the explosion, but didn't see it. But I can imagine the Targaryens, even from Dragonstone, you could probably see the ash clouds being up. Probably. So, they saw it, they heard it, probably, so, yeah. So, with what happened, Orion was the last one left. He was friends to the Emperor, and, yeah, Valyria had just blown up. And Orion knew exactly what happened. Now, Orion wasn't going to go straight away. Now, in canon, Orion claimed himself as the Emperor of Valyria straight away. But in this scenario, Orion hasn't declared himself Emperor straight away. He leaves his 30,000 men for now in the hands of his Cahoran friends, and prepares to go around and look for other Dragon Lords. Now, he knows, because he was friends with the Emperor, so he knew the Emperor had obviously sent off a few people to deal with things. So Tyrosh should obviously ask for the aid of the Valyrian Empire and friends, so they obviously sent the Dragon Lord. Sometimes the Valyrian Empire, instead of sending armies and stuff like that, they'd sometimes send the Dragon Lord. A singular Dragon Lord, they just send him, and the war won, basically. That's how Valyria won. They did the same with Lys when Lys asked for assistance from pirates and sent the other guy. So obviously Rhaegar has... not Rhaegar, that's the Emperor. Orion knew exactly where some lords and emperors were. So he went around and basically looked for the emperors. He left his 30,000 men in the hands of his friend Kiran, who he was good friends with, and Cor was loyal to Orion. Not so much loyal to Rhaegar, but more loyal to the Emperor, but loyal to Orion. Now, Orion went around and looked for other Dragon Lords. He heard of that the Targaryens had obviously fled and gone to Dragonstone. But before that, he knew of a few military campaigns, the guy over in Tyrosh, and the guy in Lys. So, Orion flew south in his dragon, and also as he went south, he heard that New Valyria, this tribe Markello, had formed a new empire. They proclaimed himself the Emperor of New Valyria, which was an outrage. Orion wasn't fucking happy. And, yeah, it was an outrage. This guy was an Essosi Valyrian, he wasn't even High Valyrian, he doesn't even have a dragon. So, Orion wasn't fucking happy. Now, he went to Lys first and found I can't show him, you're here. He found Daenerys first, who was sort of drinking himself to death at the time. Orion arrived and tried to convince Daenerys to stop drinking and maybe stop whoring, although that probably didn't work. But essentially Daenerys was confronted by Orion, and Orion talked him into joining him and going off and becoming... joining him and helping reclaim MD Valyria. And basically Orion planned to go on an expedition to Valyria, because Orion, he was the eldest son. His father who had died before him, had a good relationship with his father. His brother Magon, Jaharis, and Alasan were also, and his sons Harris and Daemon were currently in Valyria. They were just there, so he doesn't really know if they survived or not. His wife, well, not his wife, his divorced wife, Rhaenyra, as you can see they're not married, died. So in this scenario, Orion divorced his wife. They weren't getting along very well, so he just divorced her and allowed her to remain in court, obviously, because, you know, she was the mother of his 2 children. So he allowed that. Orion eventually found himself in the arms of a peasant woman 5 years ago, not long after he divorced her, and eventually fell in love with her. Eventually they had a bastard kid, Now, that bastard kid was currently still sort of in Valyria at the time, so the bastard kid was over there. Now, Rhaegar survived, and I'll get on to how he survived later on, but the peasant woman that he fell in love with, she died. She died in the explosion. So Orin went and got the Daenerys to come with him, and he also went north to Tyrush and found Rhaegar Urnabar, I think his name is. We're gonna go with Urnabar. Or Urnbar, maybe. Oh god. Yeah. But yeah, Rhaegar, same thing happened to Rhaegar. His family was killed. Same with Daenerys. So Daenerys also wanted oh god. Daenerys also wanted answers to what had happened to his family too. And Rhaegar also wanted the same. Because, you know, he had quite a few children and whatnot who were married together. I'm going to assume he had grandkids as well. Aegor as well, and his father, who died actually earlier. So they were probably like, yeah, what the hell happened? We want to find out. Next on the line, Orin went north to Dragonstone, and there he's greeted by Aenar the Exile. Now, the Targaryens were High Lords, nothing really more. Now, I looked into Valyria, and I actually noticed that there are only High Lords. Like, there's no, like Lord Paramounts in Valyria. It's like the Emperor, and then he's got a bunch of High Lords. So, obviously, Varese was quite, you know, loyal, you know, in line, you know, quite in good terms with the Emperor, and probably quite close to the Emperors. Varese, the dynasty, did hold for the Empire of Valyria a few times, so, yeah. In most scenarios, in the old, like, start dates, if you go back to the older submods, the Skari Wars, Andor Invasion, stuff like that, those submods, Varese always seems to be controlling being the Emperors of Valyria. So, in my mind, they're the Emperors. So he went to Dragonstone and spoke with Aenar the Exile. Aenar had explained what had happened. Now, Aenar, you know, obviously Aenar didn't, like, abandon the Valyrian people and not, you know, he did try to warn them, but most didn't listen. Rhaegar Belarus didn't listen at all, and called Aenar a coward and mocked him as a coward for leaving Valyria, and cast him as the exile for everyone to know. So essentially, he buggered off. Aenar was like, "Fuck you, then I'm going," and left. And he took with him some of the Valyrians, the House Scales, House Drace, House Celticar, and they all went to Dragonstone and basically set up there. Until Aegon the Conqueror, they did nothing. However, in this scenario, things have changed a little different. Orin spoke with Aenar, and Aenar had told everyone about the Doom, and Orin wished he believed Aenar, and formed a close friendship with Aenar. When Aenar was exiled, Orin was a good friend of Aenar, and, you know, served with him on the council with the Emperor many times, and even met his son. Formed a decent bond with Gaiman, as Orin had his other sons, but Orin also formed quite a close bond with Gaiman as well. And so Gaiman and Aenar are friends. Orin believed Aenar and believed that Aenar was in the right, and believed that he had seen visions, but even then Orin was still a close friend to the Emperor, so he still stuck with his Emperor. Now Orin thankfully was at Cahor. Now originally the Emperor Rhaegar Belarus was going to go to Cahor himself, but instead he sent Orin. Orin actually offered to go, I think kind of because he knew something was going to happen. Now he tried to take his son Daemon, excuse me, Harris, who was more of a fighter with him, and his son Daemon to go with him. He tried to convince his brothers and sisters, but they didn't listen. And his son still did not listen to him. And Harris wasn't much of a fighter, so he wasn't interested in fighting. And Daemon preferred to stay home and rule the lands. But Orin tried to convince them, but they still wouldn't listen. Even Rhaenyra still sort of like wasn't willing to go. She resented Orin for divorcing her and making love to a peasant girl, and his sons didn't really love Orin that much either. So that was that. And Orin left. He didn't know about Rhaegar, so he couldn't take his son Rhaegar. So yeah, Orin left. And spoke with Aenar, and he obviously believed Aenar was right, and Aenar was curious what happened to Valyria. So Aenar got his dragon, Terax. Now his wife Rhael stayed with him, stayed on Dragonstone, and Daenys the Dreamer and Gaiman also went with him as well. Obviously Aegon, Aelena, and Dana stayed in Dragonstone. They still had a few dragons with them back then, because Aegon's got Morgon, who's currently 16. And if we can find Elena, who's currently got 13-year-old Valyrian the Black Dread. So they stayed in Dragonstone. Some other lords went off with... I'll get onto the Driftmark and what's going on over there in a bit. Some other lords went as well. Jacaerys recently passed away. Well, I say recently. Yeah, fairly recently. So his father, Vaemon, stayed in Driftmark. His son Damien was curious what happened, so he also went as well. An expedition formed of boats and vessels, some ships from the Valyrian Empire up in Cahors, some ships from Tyros and Leash that offered Orien some troops, and also the Dragonstone fleet and fleets over there. Now, the other Valyrian freeholds were not keen and were not interested in bending the knee to Orien. Orien knew that if he were to reconquer, he would have to bring the Valyrian Empire back in fire and blood if he was to reform the Empire. Celtic also went as well. Aegor's son Aegon went with... Oh, no, not Aegon. Aelor went with as well. Aegon was a coward. Despite being a fighter, he was a bit of a coward, so he wouldn't go. So they went off to go have a look. Aegor also went as well with his son to see what was going on. So they left. The Scales family also left, and that's his House Drace to go have a look as well. So yeah, they formed an expedition and sailed through to the Smoking Sea, facing fierce resistance. A Kraken attacked the ships, and they had to fight back with their dragons. They had quite a few dragons with them, so there wouldn't be an issue there. So a few Krakens attacked that had been obviously pushed out of the water around the area and gone into the Smoking Sea because it was quite warm for Krakens to survive. They liked the warmth. That's what I'm saying. And they had quite a few fights against dragons, against Krakens and whatnot. There were some dragons that had survived the Doom that were hostile when they attacked them. So basically, Oren's company defeated them. They were no challenge for the might of the last of the Dragon Lords, the Targaryens, the Valerians, the Targaryens, Virazes, Cenarians, and the Urumbars were like sort of the, I'm going to say Umbars or Unbars, basically like the big dragon. The guys that were holding dragons at the time, they were the ones that held much sway in Orion's sort of expedition. They were the commanders. Orion obviously was the head of it, and then came Daenerys and Rhaegar and Aenar and Gaemon was sort of the head of the expedition and commanding the armies. Not many people perished in the battle, so many people were saved. Many of the men that they took had unfortunately died. Many sailors abandoned the expedition halfway through, so their lives were forfeit. Now, they spent much time in Valyria. Eventually, they killed many dragons. They took riches, but most of them had come to the conclusion that Valyria was destroyed. There were a few regions that could potentially be inhabitable, like the Howling Bogs, some like ruins lands over here as well. That could potentially be around. They also discovered that the Illyrians, the Mantaris, and the Tolos lines were still alive. So yeah, they were alive. Now they weren't even interested in joining with the Orion's empire either. So we may have to return and deal with them. So Orien returned back to Cahors, knowing what had to be done. He would declare himself Emperor of Valyria, and he would stake his claim and declare war on this new Valyrian Emperor. Triarch Machello had declared himself the Emperor of New Valyria. He was the leader of Volantis at this time, was the strongest of the three cities. So that's why he declared himself Emperor. And now it would be time for Orien to go south and deal with this would-be Emperor. He also won the backing of many of his lords. Rhaegar was, believed he was the rightful emperor, so he was happy to stand beside him. As was Daenerys. He was, he took... Basically, Orien saved Daenerys' life. He was drinking himself to death, but then gave him a new purpose, a new sort of something to work towards. So Daenerys had his loyalty. Gaemon the Glorious was keen to join with Orien, so he declared himself with him. And Aenar the Exile was still, a bit of a craven, so he returned to Dragonstone. Now, when Aenar returned to Dragonstone, Aenar was met with the banners of House Durrandon. Now, as they were away in Valyria, the Durrandons enacted their plan. Storm King Baldric with his son Durin and Eric, and obviously with the the Garland VI the sixth, isn't it? I think Garland the sixth, Tom the Lion King, the one who currently holds Brightborough at the moment, and the King John of Mountain of Vale. They plan together to destroy and conquer the lands of Dragonstone, Driftmark, and Claw Isle, the ones that have been taken. Now, the Durandons believe these isles should be a rightful Westerosi territory. Especially after his defeat from the Valyrians, he was quick to engage. Now, he knew that dragons would be present, so the Storm King prepared and paid, lots of money and troops, and got lots of scorpions, dragon-killing machines to destroy and to make sure that the Valyrians wouldn't hold back. Now, he didn't know that he did actually see the Valyrian fleets and dragons flying off towards Valyria, so the Storm King picked his timing well. So the Storm King declared war. He invaded Driftmark, Claw Isle, and Dragonstone. Now, with the Riverlander troops he raised them and sent them towards Driftmark. The Stormlander troops he sent towards Dragonstone, and the Arryn forces attacked Claw Isle. With the military and financial support of the Reach and the Lannisters, they were quick to invade and take it easily. The Reach obviously brought up their fleets and whatnot, as the Lannisters. They had many fleets that went around to the Isles to help ferry them across. They had troops as well. The Reach and the Westland troops also were involved as well. The Isles fell pretty damn quickly. Driftmark fell first, and Lorum's Mud, the Muds who had been trying to prove themselves sellswords at the moment, the Muds won their loyalty and actually captured captured Vaemon's wife, Millicent, and had her captured. So the Muds captured the Muds were first to storm the castle. Lothar, with his sword in hand, stormed the castle. Now, as for a reward, the Muds were granted the lordships of Driftmark. Over in Claw Isle, Jon Stark, one of the Starks who had decided to leave his brother, the King of the North, basically looking for to go potentially, maybe go off and form his own destiny and whatnot, and he did just that. He took his wife Jessamine, and Roderick was a capable fighter, took his son, and he involved himself and actually helped the Arryns in their first attack on Claw Isle. He was the first to board the shores and attack and seize the castle. Now, he didn't capture anyone of note when he took the castle. However, he did capture Rhaena. He didn't capture, well, I meant of note, his wife. He did capture the siblings of Aegor, captured his Rhaena and Lucerys. Now, Aelor actually fled from the battle. He managed to get out of there and fled towards Dragonstone, took a few ships, and got to Dragonstone. Over in Driftmark, obviously, Vaemon's wife was captured, Millicent, who was then strangled to death by Storm King Baldric, who was angry that the Valyrians weren't there either, so he had her strangled alive in the battle. Over in Claw Isle, he had Aegor's siblings killed. Rhaena was beheaded. Rhaena was raped and then beheaded. Lucerys was then hanged on the orders of Storm King, hanged like a common criminal. So yeah, as Stark took the Claw Isle first, he was rewarded with the lordship of that. Dragonstone was obviously granted to Prince Eric, who led the attack against... Eric and Durin both led the attack on Dragonstone, along with Baldric, who was also present. Although he was too old to really get in combat, he was still present. Blackwater Bay is... Durin currently holds Blackwater Bay, for those wondering. That's where he's got lands. So Storm King seized Dragonstone. Now, the Lords of Dragonstone actually escaped out the back of the Windworm Castle, and basically they got into a few ships. And essentially, Pentos got wind of what happened. So Pentos sent some ships over to potentially aid in, because Dragonstone held out longer than Driftmark and Claw Isle. They held out for a while. Now, the Cracklaw Point guys have no love for the Durandon, so they actually helped smuggle the Dragonstone guys out of there. Now, when the battle took place, obviously Aenor wasn't present, so Raelle was actually captured and broken on the wheel after the battle, after she was wounded and burnt in the battle. She was killed and was then broken on the wheel. Now, she was leading the defences, but she perished. However, the dragons Aegon and his sister Elena, who very close had Balerion and Morgoth. They are very small dragons, but still could pack a punch. So Aegon and Rhaena went out of the castle and started. And because they were very small dragons, they were easily able to dodge the scorpion bolts. And Elena and Aegon led the attack against the forces at Dragonstone. This is when the Cracklaw Point guys, who Rael had already sent word over to them to potentially ask for aid, they also arrived with their ships and men to help against the army of Dragonstone. Now, the Arran forces were busy on Claw Isle, the Riverland forces were busy on Driftmark, but the Stormlander forces were in Dragonstone. And they killed many of his men. He's down to 5,000. They killed a lot of men in the battle. And the Pentoshi forces arrived, and also to help against the Storm Kings. They also saw it as an opportunity to potentially try and do a few slave raids on Stormlands. So they attacked Dragonstone and helped the Valyrians escape. But the battle was lost in the end, despite the dragons and the armies. The Targaryens still retreated. This is when Aenar arrived with his dragon to put an end to the forces. Now, Dragonstone had already been taken, but Aenar had arrived with the back of his dragon to try and take out some of the lords and give his people some chance to flee. And that's what Aenar did. Aenar vanquished the fleets and ships, destroying the Lannister and Garden of Fleets were utterly destroyed. And Aenar brought enough time for his troops to get out of there and men to flee, and that's what he did. Thanks to Pentos, they had escaped. And Aenar, with his dragon and many of his lords, marched over to Cahor. And over in Cahor, Orin was gathering his armies, preparing for an attack on New Valyria. He'd also crowned himself the Emperor of Valyria. He'd also had a crowning ceremony as well, which Gaiman was present for. And Janaris and Rhaegar were also present too. And they and some of the other lords that were also with Orin as well, had a ceremony. Now, while Orin also was in Valyria, they saw the destruction of Valyria. Now, in Valyria, the Orin Veraces were quite a strong family, so they held the Isle of this place over here, Castaria. But yeah, they held that, and now this place was pretty much destroyed, but because it was on the outskirts, it sort of survived, kind of. Some survived, but most were infected by Grayscale at this time. But Orin actually found his son, Rhaegar, who was a little badly injured, but Rhaegar was a solid guy. He was pretty solid. He took after his father was strong. So he made sure his son was safe. Rhaegar had actually been buried deep underground when the volcano went off. So Rhaegar had survived, just about. Now Orin's woman that he loved much, he'd sort of loved her in the end. He didn't love her that much. He really just used her for his own pleasure. But still, he loved Rhaegar. He loved Rhaegar's mother in a way. Maybe it may have been a lust at first, but over time he grew fond of the woman and visited her from time to time when his duties would allow him to. But obviously he couldn't marry her, as it would have been frowned upon for Orin to marry a lowborn common girl. However, I think Orin probably... Yeah, I think in hindsight, I don't think he would really care. Now, he's the Emperor of Valyria. He can marry who the hell he wants, so, basically. But yeah, Rhaegar, his bastard son, was alive. And he took his bastard son back and probably planned to legitimize him as a heir at some point. And probably will. Now, I know for some reason it doesn't actually let me legitimize him until I take over New Valyria. I did test it a bit to see if it would let me legitimize the kid. Because Orin tends to die a lot in this playthrough. Every time I play as Orin before, he dies. So, yeah. So Rhaegar is alive. The kid didn't really have a name, but he named him after Rhaegar, the Emperor of Valyria, Orin's great friend. The Emperor of Valyria actually discovered that he had a bastard, but actually offered to keep his secret safe. So Orin returned with Rhaegar and proclaimed him as his son. Now Rhaegar actually was a decent fighter. As a 5-year-old, he actually could use a sword, which is quite good. He is solid, he has decent physique, and also is a bastard, but will be legitimized at some point. Rhaegar will likely legitimize the kid. So yeah, when Orin was about to declare war, Aenar returned with more Valyrian people, and he explained to Orin what happened. What had happened over in Westeros. And Orin pledged to Aenar that he would make the Durrandons and Westeros suffer for what happened to his people. Now, when the Storm King took Dragonstone, he named his son and heir, Prince Eric, as the Lord of Dragonstone, making Dragonstone sort of like the heir. The heir holds the castle, essentially. But this will not stand, and Storm King Baldric is actually rivals with Gaiman and Aenar. Orien vowed to Aenar and the Targaryens and the other Valyrians that he would go to Westeros one day. Once he had finished conquering the Essos, he would sail across the narrow sea and fly with his dragons, all the combined might of his dragons, and he would conquer Dragonstone and Driftmark and Claw Isle back. And in the process, he would unify and conquer this entire continent under his domain. That was Orien's promise. Now, what this entire goal is for this series, I don't really know. I'm kind of like, for this little run as Orien, we're probably going to play as Aenar and conquer Westeros again as the Targaryens, because I think it may, I might, as I'm thinking about it, I might, because I kind of want to play as, like, the Targaryens over here for a bit. Maybe I'll play as them for a bit and see what happens in an alternate scenario where Orien sort of does let this current scenario hasn't happened when the canon route where Orien has just proclaimed himself Emperor. We'll do that. We'll do that with our Aenar run. I think that might be kind of fun to do, where players try and conquer Westeros with just the Aenar and the Targaryens, the Isles of Dragonstone and whatnot. But in this scenario, I think I'd probably want to go with the whole conquering New Valyria. If we go to the Jura, if I might have to show you if we go to the Jura regions. So in my head, Orien wants to reform the Valyrian Empire, but obviously wants to make it stronger. Now, the Summer Sea, these guys were part of Valyria, so probably he would go down to take Gorgossos. Maybe take... he would probably want to restore that. Giscard probably should be part of the... He probably want to reclaim that empire. The North Valyrian states, the Braavos he wants to take out because they... Well, Orien has had rumours that they are responsible for the death of the Valyrian freehold. Maybe we'll take out Sarnor as well while we're at it. And so basically this little run as Orien is going to be us conquering everything we can, making the New Valyria's empire strong again, conquering Westeros and all that. And that's basically what we're going to do. I don't know if I'll conquer the Summer Isles, maybe, because it depends how powerful we are. We'll see. But yes, so we are over in Cahor. We are rallied up our men, 30,000 strong. We have an alliance with, I think, this guy. So we will call him to arms, actually. As is may as well. Obviously, all my relatives are dead. Rhaegar is the last living son, so I will probably legitimize him at some point. I can't legitimize him until I take New Valyria, so we'll do that later on. Now, Orien has a fleet, the Valyrian enormous flagship, which is obviously in I guess, is that the Rhoynar, I suppose? Darkwater, but leads into the Rhoynar or Dagger Lake. We got a Valyrian Steel sword, which as we're now the Emperor, I can't equip that, but we got that for some reason. So what we will do is with the sword, we'll go ahead and reforge that sword. I know the sword I'm looking for. You're lazy and passive, so you could fuck up the sword. It's even getting on better, because obviously Orien wants to make sure the sword is pretty good. We will reforge some armor. We will recruit a court physician. And we will now go ahead and assign our commanders, which is the stuff I enjoy doing most. Have we got anyone better here? Not really. Roland's pretty good. We'll take him as our Pure Justiciar. Can probably be Aegor, who is actually our heir for some reason. But we will, if we die, like, we will basically make Rhaegar our heir before anything happens. Baelor, Chief General. So I want the Dragon Riders, so I'll put Mataris in charge for now. Train children. You're the best I've got really for. Although I could get Quentin Scales to it. I've got the... I can't actually give him anything to do, but got that for now. Aethan, we give him that. We can make Visenya, who is the mother of the Celtic Gods. We get her to be that for now. Bodyguards, I want some people pretty fucking decent. Gaming's pretty good, but take him. Be our bodyguards. Rhaegar's pretty damn good. Aegon, Celtigar. You're pretty good. Daemon, Valerion. Actually, this guy's better. Funny enough. We'll take him. Food taster, someone that likes me, so probably Aenar. Court musician, court poet. Get people to like me a bit more. Master of the Raw Elephants, court shooter. Probably Gaiman. He's the best commander I've got here. King's Justice can be Rhaegar, and I'll go for and change the commanders. So Gaiman, Rhaegar, Aegon, Vaemon Valerion, Baelor, Aenys, and we'll take the Dragon Riders as well, because I want a few of them. So that'd be Aenar. Is that anyone else I got? I got Daenys as well, but Aenar's got the stronger dragon. So we get him to command them. What else have I missed? Oh, cool. Yeah, we're doing that. That's fine. That's good. Form ambition, so I'll probably win the war as my main goal at the moment. Orin's like I mean, he's here to conquer the West, conquer the world, but at the same time, he's also not stupid. Orin lost his loved one. Yeah, I feel like he would concentrate on family, but I feel like he probably would also marry too, but we can't marry him until later on. Got Aegon, we'll give him pride. We probably will give the Valyrians some lands and stuff at some point, the other ones that have joined us. Something I will do is betroth Rhaegar to probably... Where's the Targaryens? Elena and Aegon I probably will marry, unless I can marry Aegon to somebody else. Illyria Celtigar, maybe? Keep the Celtigars loyal, I suppose. Keep them back together, I suppose. We'll do that. Is there anyone for Elena to marry? That's the thing. My son, Rhaegar. Or maybe marry betroth Dana to somebody else that's younger? No. We can always find someone for Dana to marry later on. But I think Aegon will probably betroth... I mean, can he married Elena? But Dana's like 2, who's a bit young for my son. So what I will do is probably betroth him to Illyria Celtigar, keep the Targaryen and Celtigars together. Elena will be betrothed to my son Rhaegar, which I think is what Gaiman would probably agree to. Gaiman would probably agree to marry to the Celtigars too. Dana would betroth to somebody else. Okay, maybe not. Let's see if we can just do that and see if anyone... Yeah, no one will. Let's see if we get any more kids from the other Valyrians and stuff like that, so... That should be fine. Gaming can marry again, but I probably won't let him. So yeah, we've got Quentin Scales, we've got the Scales family that have joined us. Carl and his wife, Quentin and Jorgen. We've married them off to people now. We'll marry you off to her. So the Scales family, pretty good. They will serve well. Celtigar, obviously. We'll marry him off to all my courtiers. And Damien Valerion will marry you off to somebody as well. She will do. So yeah, we've got the Valerions, we've got Vaemond and Daemon. Obviously his wife's dead. Damien, yeah. Who else we got? We got the Draces as well, which is another Valyrian house. They actually have their own little Valyrian steel sword as well, which is pretty cool. Oblivion, which is pretty neat. We got Vaemond Valerion, who's a Imperial General, and Damien as well. So yeah, they're pretty good. I've gone past. I've gone the wrong way. House Drace, who also died in the Doom. Most of the family are dead, so he's actually married to his sister, Conniff and Callum Drace, so they're alive. And well, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? I think for Valyrians, obviously a few Celtigars around, a few lowborn houses. This guy's apparently dropped dead. Okay, I think it's actually the blacksmith I hired. I probably will go around and marry... Yeah, I'm going to marry some people off. Now, I'll go marry people off and I'll go begin our invasion of... This episode will be a bit longer. But no, once we've done this, we'll go off and conquer New Valyria. Okay, I've formed a few marriage alliances. I'll probably cover that as and when they come in. But I've married a few people off. I've actually married off Rhaegar, the guys... So Rhaegar, who was over in Tyrosh, I betrothed him to someone in Tyrosh, a noble in Tyrosh, and I've also done the same with Daenerys to a Lysine noble. Lysine noble, I think it is. Yeah, first order of business is raising up the troops. How can I balance it out? I can't. Let's a bit more guys in this army, maybe. I get 2 massive flanks. I might, yeah, do that. Okay, fine. What I'll do is I'll give me a bigger front because Orin's gonna be leading the charge. We have a few 500 of the Unsullied, heavy cavalry, 2,000 light cav, 12,000 heavy infantry, 3,000 archers, and 11,000 light infantry as well. So we got quite a big army. This is massive. I think Orin would probably lead the charge himself. I think that's... Well, there may be Gaiman, actually, because he actually got the Inspiring Leader trait. And we should probabbe smart. So Gaiman, actually no, fuck it, Orion. Gaiman can lead the other flank. Rogar can lead the other flank. Aegon's good on the flank, so we'll leave him put on that side. Daemon's Baelor there. Janaris can lead that flank. Aenys, one of my other generals, can lead that. And Einar can also lead that as well. So we've got a few generals there. Rogar's got a lieutenant. Aegon is a lieutenant in that army there. Gaiman's got Vaemon as his lieutenant. They shouldn't have any trouble serving under Gaiman, as the Valerians have served the Targaryens for years. And obviously Aegon's probably, Rogar's quite a veteran commander, so I'm sure Aegon shouldn't have issues with serving under him. We've got Baelor, Janaris, Aenys, and Einar serving under Orion, which is fair enough. We are the Emperor. First order of business is probably getting on the ship, and then we'll sail down through the Rhoynar, and then land at Volantis, I think is the plan. Alright, let's begin. I'm pretty excited for this. You're dishonorable, so you'll likely run off, but you're pretty good. Now, I know what I'm going for this, because we obviously want to look for Valyrians, so, like, we're going to go for, Dragonbane. And what I might do is probably call the sword Doom, I think. Because after the Doom of Valyria, I think it's probably a very significant event that we should probably name it after. So, yeah. Oh, some of the lords are joining with me. Excellent. Lord Barrio of Golden Bridge. Are they? Yep. This guy's joining me. Good. They've seen the... Oh god, lots of people joining against. Loads of people aren't coming to his aid. That's quite good. Right, let's sail to Valyria then. Valyria, Volantis. Of course, on my obligation to come to your aid. Excellent. The call's coming. Yeah, I think New Valyria might get screwed. I married Jorgen off to this girl, who is a Gorgossi from the south. Maybe I might even give the scales lands over that. The Tyroshi guy married Rogar off to this girl. Oh, he's refused to. He's married her off to a 52-year-old man. Right. Let's find her, and let's find. I was gonna marry because it was, but we just married to Telossi, I suppose. That'd be fine. She's got different eyes, actually. That's kind of interesting. Actually, does it show in the... Yeah, Aelor's married off to this girl from Yeti. You married a Kahoric girl. I think that's fitting for Einar. Because Einar, for some reason, got over his wife pretty quickly. He didn't get the Widow trait or anything, so... Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad match. Excellent. Take him. I'll get him to serve the court for now. I can't get my Lord Treasurer to do a thing at the moment. Alright. Yeah, I'll let them, my allies do as they wish for now. And we'll land in Old Valyria immediately. What I will do is probably get those 500 guys, or 5k guys to join me. I have to land if I land there and go straight to, yeah. Yeah, a lot of guys are not coming to his aid, which is quite funny. It's good for us. I can't forge my army yet. That's illegal. Hang on. If I quickly jump out of command, I'll get myself some armor. There you go. There you go. The raising the armor is pretty neat. I like the look of that. If I can quickly march from Sarmel, they're defeat them there. Did they die? Oh no, they're over there. We're engaging 2,000 guys there. You probably will lose a bit to attrition here. Oh, we won. That was fucking easy. One battle, captured by Vaemond, and victory is ours. Okay, victory is ours. I guess we probably don't really want to burn Volantis because we probably want that as our capital, don't we? Do we take Volantis or old Volantis? Wondering. Don't know. I could have him killed, I suppose, because then it just makes it pretty easy. Us just capture him immediately. No. I kind of feel like capturing him and then killing him makes the most sense, because otherwise this war's over in like 2 seconds. Suddenly kill him. In that way I can sort of wipe out the line. Well, I can't wipe out the line, but it will fall to Jagar Vassar. So, yeah, it makes it a bit more interesting, otherwise we just fucking win. And it's like, oh. We're engaged them here. I want to have a decent battle with these guys, at least. But they've already escaped. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. Volunteer Liberation Revolt. Shit. Okay. Yeah, the Volunteers are obviously not happy with the Valyria. Fuck me, they just massacred their army. Jesus Christ. The Blacksmith Czar completed his work and presents you with a newly reforged Valyrian Steel Sword. Excellent. We name it Doom after Valyria, I think. Doom. Because, you know, Doom. Right? But yeah, nice looking sword. It's got the dragon sort of hilt, which is why I picked it. Yeah, we'll say in battle that Tribe got killed in battle, not beheaded. Let's let them split up and then we'll move on then. That's quite a formidable army as well. 40k, Jesus. Yeah, they don't have dragons either. So I can catch them here. Too fast. We'll move over here. And I'll catch them off guard. Oh shit, he's dead already. 2 Emperors down. Trivaker was got slain by this guy. Oh, one of my guys, thanks. Awesome. And now his brother's taken over. That family has enough points to stay in, it seems. The chaos run the battle. My man calling this guy, calling the reports, tripping his own swords. Oh, dude. Nice one, Vaymond. He's killed the Emperor. Shame he's not got Emperor Slayer or something like that. Right, we need to march against this massive like liberation revolt quicker. Because these guys are actually probably a threat. I like the New Valyrian Empire, which got absolutely smashed to pieces. These guys are an actual problem. There you go. They want to get married. Did his wife die? Oh, that's the woman that got killed. I'll marry him off to this girl. You might have Asian-looking Valyrians the way it goes. We captured the Volunteer Revolt guy. Will that kill the... Oh, we'll keep him in jail for now. That way they can't win by default. Yeah, we will return and liberate Volantis, which I think is fitting. And what I might do is do a divide and conquer move and send an army over there and send an army up north. Get Gaiman to lead that. Sora to deal with that, and I'll begin the siege on Old Volantis, which is their capital. They've made a run for it. You cowardly bastards. 10,000 guys should take out those 6,000 dudes. I don't think they're very powerful. Yeah, they got no commander. They're easy route. Yeah, they're gone. Right, any more of the... Oh, God, it's laid up there. Defeating my allies. If you head up that way... Yeah, inspiring leader, I think. Did we get wounded? No. I went bloody after that battle. No, wrong button. Captured that revolt guy, so I'll just leave him locked up for now. What I'll do, it won't matter because the core guys won't join us anyway. Send Orin over there, and I'll get he's the guy not leading troops up there. I get Generis to lead that force though. The Emperor can march straight for Valyria, and I'll get the guys to join up because Valyria's got over 47,000 supply limit, so it's like. We can easily like deal with that. What I will do is probably rally Putting fast and chloric guys from that army there. I've been so anticlimactic we just won. So, yeah. Quite the army coming south there. They're just sitting there, fine. What I'll do is I'll loot these guys around, then we can do a pincer move and take them out. If I get Von Ferris to join me... Oh, let's go. You guys. Yeah, join with this army. I know where the chloric guys are, but... Are they in the, down here already? I think they are. I could move him with that army, but it's too risky. What would we do? I mean, technically the guy that was fighting before wasn't the guy who declared himself Emperor, so... I think we're let him go. Victory is ours. Oh, let's not pause again. So, conquer New Valyria. There you go. We've usurped the Castle Royne. What have we got? Okay, we usurped the title of Old Volantis. Good. Usurped Emperor New Valyria. Usurped the castle. Okay. Did we take it new? No. Volantis is part of his land, which is fine for now. I kind of want this guy dead though, but he's just going to try and rebel against me. So what I'll do is I'll try and do a plot to try and bring him down if I can. But that war ended, by the way, I think. Just like that. These are host troops, so I can keep them in battle. I don't have to get rid of them. But yeah, Orin's done. We now probably need to look at a bride for Orin, really. So what I will do is legitimize my son Rhaegar. There you go. Now he's now my heir. New heir. We've won the war. I think we're judged his family justly. I won't declare him enemies of the realm. Fuck him. I mean, it would make more sense to kill the Tagaris family, but actually most of them are kind of like dead anyway. They didn't become emperors in the end. So, but these guys still continue to fight. Should have gone to them, but they didn't get it. Until Marcello... No, hang on, wait, what? Oh, okay. Jacob got elected as the emperor, but he didn't, he could have stopped it and, bent the knee and stopped. But he got killed, and his brother decided to continue the war. And where he could have, bent the knee instead. But no, he continued the war, so I guess, claim enemies of the realm. I think that's what we would probably do. I think, from RP Century, we want to look at marrying somebody, not the Vassal family, so to exile them. In House Tagaris, maybe. Rhaenella, maybe? Because I'm thinking, because these guys fought against us, right? So they're always going to be claimants against us. However, if we marry, potentially her, then it would potentially... I don't know, let's see who's actually the strongest Valyrian vassals. You have any... Oh, look, Sarnor's at it again. What are they doing? Slave raid. Yeah, we'll join you. From the dungeon. All hails magnificence, Orin of the House of Varieties, the first of his name, Emperor of the New Valyrian Freehold, Great Archon of the colonies of Old Valyria, Protector of the Free Cities, and all the East. We actually have inherited the Empire of New Valyria too. Yeah, I guess we probably would call ourselves the Empires of New Valyria, because Valyria is gone. We should probably move on and create a new Valyrian Empire. But yeah, I guess we'll gather our forces to go north, I suppose. What is Asara doing? Are they helping? No, it's got another slave raid. But move north and I'll help my kin up in Cahor. Your feat of conquering the Emperor of New Valyria means the bloodline of House Varieties is now highly respected by the defeated peoples of the new domain. House Varieties is now considered a traditional great house of the region. So we get a bloodline, yeah, nice. Excellent. So get a bloodline, Emperor of Orion, Imperial Varieties bloodline. Yeah, Blood of the Dragon, cool. Yeah, Aaron's done a decent job there, actually. Let's have a little look at who we can marry, because there's no point marrying a freehold, because they're gonna... Merchant Republic system and just move it all about anyway. Unless we look to marry potentially in Westeros, because... But most of them probably be married off by now. Because... Orin does want to go to Westeros, so he wants to find a better lie of the land. So if we marry potentially her, if they'd accept. No. If I gave him some money. If I married the Lannister... No. No, it wouldn't happen. I just gave him a bunch of money and they still said no. Great. Yeah, the bastard kid. Maybe her, potentially? Maybe the Stark girl? I don't think they're gonna let me do it. Unless I gave him that, maybe. But then if I gave that to him, the Lannister guy might sway him over a bit. Yeah. Let's give him that. I'm right. Already losing up there. God, I need to get north quick. Right, what we'll do is we'll ride these guys together. I'll put the Emperor in charge. Emperor's flying north to deal with this. Gaiman's going to take charge. Aegon's going to take charge of that. Yeah, we'll get a bunch of other commanders to take charge. Aegon did that. Yeah. We'll march this army north. They can go straight for Sarnor. If I can get there in time. If not, they might suffer a slave raid. This army can move north to Cahor. And we'll get Rhaegar Daenerys to control that for now. Targaryens and Orin can go north. We'll deal with the Sarnorian rebels. Well, rebels, but the enemy. This is a ruined place. A few places that are still a bit ruined, I think. See if you'll let me marry him now. Yes. And that might be an ally in Westeros that we can use. And it would also give us a claim to... Oh, fuck. Please tell me I didn't get Grayscale. Thank fuck. Did any of my other guys get Grayscale? That's a fact. We set up for it earlier. Oh, because we're going for the fucking Sorrows. Please tell me no one got Grayscale. Oh, no one else got Grayscale. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Note to self, don't do that. So we've married Tyre Lannister, so we've got our alliance with the Lannisters. Which might help us when we go to Westeros. We need to sort the... Because it's all fucking... they're in charge of everything. Sucks. So we need to deal with that at some point. Once I've dealt with this rebellion, I don't think we've got anything else that's... Nah, these guys like me, so I'll keep them in charge. Castle of the Blackwall, do we give that to anyone? Don't know. I kind of want to strip Volantis of these guys. But I need to call them for a trial. I thought I was making him rebel against me. Don't know. Whatever, we got all Volantis for now, that's good enough. I'll keep the black one myself for the time being. I don't need to give it out to anyone. My son can get duty, actually. Who's educating my kid? I'm gonna get probably Gaiman. Yeah, Gaiman's probably the best to educate him. I think that's fitting. I mean, we can do force training at some point later on. We'll do that. He's already got poor fighters, so we're sort of there. Gaiman's a bit of a second father to Rhaegar. He's his father-in-law, so it makes sense. Set crown focus there. Negotiate annexation. Ooh, maybe do that. My vassals is doing that. Provoke his shit. Fuck out of here. I want his stuff. That gives another castle on our domain, which is quite good. I need to raise my guys. Got my host guys who can do that for. That's fine. We want to now fall in love, don't we? I think Orin probably deserves passion in his life. A poor case, great. Oh no, he is guilty. Never mind. Oh my eyes. Orin's got married. We'll ask for a dowry. Why not? We don't have a lot of gold, so may as well. My Archon's found guilty. We have to do the council. It's council rights of just mayors. Yeah, do that. There's the guy I'm putting in jail. I've lost him. Where is he? There he is. No, that's not him. Wrong guy. Where is he? This guy. If he's guilty, can I not take his shit? Obviously not. I'm executed. His brother's taken over. I still want these guys dead. I'm gonna try and get him to rebel against me and take Volantis in the free. I want everything. I want my land. I want Volantis. I want the High Lordship of it. I want all that land. I want it to be mine. Aenies, you're fine to stay as that. I should have put in. Okay. Nice one. You're pretty good. I could probably get the other guy to be Stormsinger. Most of this is all for lore, isn't it? Yeah, so you want to start converting it over to the Faith. So we start with Volantis over there for now. Yeah, some of these lands are still ruined by the Rhoynar Wars, for those wondering why they're ruined. I want to get taxes, unless it's something better than Quentin. Golden Bridge just fight for me, but they don't actually like me that much. If we can give, actually... But it's probably a safe bet to get a game, but he's a good fighter, though. I'll let him train troops, or organise the army, that's probably a good thing. Egol Celtica, well, we've got Lord of Daggerlake. Oh, they're pirates, I forget. Perform Statecraft for now. You're pretty good. Most of my vassals aren't as good as the guys I've already got, so I'm just not going to bother appointing any as my part of my council. What we'll do is try and request council support so we can start changing up the laws of succession and whatnot. Because they all like me, this is the best time to do it, rather than put people in the council that don't like me, because otherwise I can't change any succession. I can't change the laws to what I want them to be. Which is, you know, quite handy. Give me military focus. We do have a lot of Valyrians, so most of them can't a lot of focus on getting most of them in military skill for the time being. So I don't really need them for an alliance, so but well, I can't call them anyway, but I've got them there if I need them. Host the wedding. Go and support me in the council, and then we'll start going ahead and changing up laws and shit. Support you in the council, cool. Right, I think that's all done. Let's get rid of the... What do you want first? Is it more easy to get rid of this? Relay. One of the end wars, round of independence. Diplomacy is probably better right now. Eventually we'll try and change all that over to what we want. First not legal. I assume that's a Valyrian thing, so we'll keep that, I guess. We can't change it anyway. Trial realm inheritance is fine. Slavery is legal in the Valyrian Empire. I know a lot of people might think, oh, didn't they invade Giscarian? Didn't they get rid of slavery? No, they just made it worse. They had slaves to mine the mountains, so how do you think they got all the gold from? Most empires are built on the backs of slaves, like the British Empire and the Spanish, the French. They're all built on the back of slaves, really. Medium, probably, yeah. Inheritance is fine, that's fine. At some point, we'll probably try and bring this over to that at some point. We'll probably start negotiating the annexation of those guys. He doesn't like me, so the proud emperor. Even though you fought with me, didn't you? No. I suppose I've changed succession law. That probably hasn't helped things. Probably not a good idea, but there you go. I need to control my empire. I can't do that if everyone's like all over the place. Oh, yeah, I got a dragon egg. I won't give that to my son because I want my son to ideally tame the dragon I've got. Because I don't imagine Orion's going to be emperor forever, so yeah. I've got more men, so this army I'll march straight on the. Go straight for is it Sarnath the capital? Or is it this place? I can't quite tell. Yeah, Sarnath. I'm in the right place. This army can march up there. I noticed actually in the sub one I've got on, Volantis is like, not Volantis, Calf is actually like 4 regions around it. It's got the innermost wall is his own little territory. The middle wall, the outer wall. So, Calf is really powerful. So yeah, they're pretty strong. That's pretty cool. Obviously, there's more regions in Gorgossos, for example. We're doing that. I'm going to fight with the Slave Raid. Was it won by Narth? Narth defeated them? No, he won it. I thought he did. I've been surprised if he hadn't. But yeah, we're moving against the Sarnor forces. Shall be a glorious ceremony. Yeah, I don't know if Orion wants to marry that much, but at the same time he knows he needs alliances. And best way to form alliances via marriage. We're coming at the last second to save the Choric forces. Yeah, that went poorly for them. Now, because of our marriage with Lannister girl, it could potentially mean that she might try and get her designated heir on the throne. Potentially. Oh, they've had a stillborn kid. That's a shame. Yeah, wedding feast. Nice. I assume we were having that during... I'm guessing that we were having the fighting, and Orion was in Volantis having the wedding, and then he went north to... Flew north to help his bannerman in the north. No. We're not last four, so we wouldn't screw anyone else. And we're on the Emperor. Yeah, our trade's pretty good. We've got trained fighters. We're not like amazing commander or fighter, but we're still pretty decent. The strong trait's helping out a lot. The slave owner, that's... yeah, whatever. Wrath ambitious, proud, authoritative is pretty good. Capture this guy. Ransom him. I'll send these guys over there. They might get a bit of attrition, so what I might do is send this army north to go deal with the places that have been sieged down. I might just get Orion to hunt them down, basically. He's trying to kill me. That's death. I can't revoke stuff yet, which is annoying. So I try by combat. Okay, fine. I've got decent enough fighters for that. So I assume it's him fighting. I could talent this myself, really. Because we are fucking 115 personal combat skill. Like, we'd probably kill him. I handle this myself. He's trained fighter, same as me. We are quite strong, though, so... Force, probably. Yeah, he's dead. He died. Yep, he's dead. Slayed by Emperor Order, New Valyria. Trial by combat. That probably proves that the Emperor is a pretty fucking beastly guy. Like, he's not here to fuck around. Somewhat Volantis. Why have I got a... Oh, right. Converting it over to... yeah. We'll potentially try and see if we can actually get away with, maybe... potentially... axing people. We've destroyed that, apparently. Cool. In fact, you guys march over there for now. Unfortunately, we are losing quite a few of our host troops to attrition and stuff, which is annoying, but there you go. What can you do? Count Mengo? What the hell is Dothraki over here? We're against Count Mengo. It's Norvosia attacking them for some reason. Okay. Yeah, with this series I probably will do more editing out if I can. I they're coming back for more. But yeah, we'll see what... Because some stuff might be interesting to show, and some might not be. I think while we're here, we just do the negotiate annexation. What I might do is potentially not lead the armies for a minute. I'll get Gaiman to lead that for the time being. Aenys can hold that army. He's leading that. He's over there. We'll get Rogoth lead ahead of this force. Wrong guy. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, see the Dothraki are coming east for some reason. Behind the black walls of old Valanthus dwells some of the few remaining nobles of Fear of Blood. Nice. I assume we'll have decent chance of hatching the dragons. I don't think we need to really do the lore. Go around find all the lore of the dragon eggs, not really. I don't think that's really necessary. Alright, bribe a few of these guys over to my side. Most of them like me more anyway, and it's boosts up the relations, which is good. Good. God, Spy Master, yeah, get you on side. Yeah, that'd be easy. Don't waste all my gold, but that should be enough to make them revolt, ideally. God, okay. I thought it was going to crash from it, but I'm going to save quick now. While we're here. And we are going to, what we're going to do, negotiate annexation, aren't we? Yeah. What's nearest? What makes the most law sense for us to go to first? Mir's literally around the corner. So, Roy, they're actually a... I'll get up there. Go myself. This force will march on... Oh, there's quite a few troops there. It's fine, for now. I'll get Fabian to lead that force. See if it works. War against tyranny, and he's also called in... Fuck me, what the shit? He's called in everyone. What the fuck? Everyone joined him? Why? Okay, they'll fucking heads will roll for this, I can tell you that. Heads will fucking roll. We need to bring all our troops back. All this little fight. I mean, I may as well carry on sieging that down. Maybe call the Lannisters in. Maybe. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I think I am gonna call Lannisters in. I'm gonna call Carth. I keep getting mixed up. Right, move south. Where's my ship? My ship's gone. Oh, my ship's gone. Ah. I lost my ships. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we succeeded, alright, but then we may as well nearly started our doom. Right, okay, let's get south. Yeah, negotiating. Yeah, I need to get my shit together. You're all being educated by gamers, so you're up there. Okay, maybe you need to take command. Alright, much south. We need to deal with this rebellion. That's just, I don't know what the hell, what the fuck we've done here. It's just a mess. I guess from a lore perspective, I guess we've sort of like, we tried to imprison this guy, I'm guessing. But then he's like gone around and slandered me off to everyone and tried to rally basically fucking everyone against me. Yeah, every single fucking vassal I have is against him, against me. Which is not good. I don't know how he's managed to do that, but my dragon's gone crazy. That's actually lowers his taming chance, isn't it? Yeah. Take on. He's got a son. Nice. Let's see if we can trove that son to maybe Dana potentially. Be a decent match for him. I don't know who this guy is. He's a death guy, apparently. Is there another one? So I noticed we got a person in our court around now to marry. I like look immediately to try and marry them off to people. It's fine, whatever. March south. The chorus should be able to deal with that. Should deal with that, all right. It covers the position justice. Yeah, it's. Would Orin bargain with fucking Would Orin bargain? I mean, he's authoritative, proud, ambitious. Like, he's gonna bargain, I don't think. Like, he'd happily attack them if they make demands. I mean, yeah, he's got 9 diplomacy skill, but... I just don't think, lore-wise, he isn't gonna, like, bargain with them. Like, I just don't see Orin bargaining, say, oh yes, I'll put you on my council. Like, no. Orin's gonna be like, just be grateful I'm not invading you, pretty much. Right, let's get south. If I can, I'll get the Court army to follow me. I don't know what the Lancers will do, I'll let them get on with it. They can do what they want. No. Maybe it might just be easier for us to invade because he keeps spending money on this. I might just start conquering, to be honest. Yeah, I care not for them. If we can get north and deal with them, that'd be kind of useful. And I can once that war's over, I can bring the Chloric forces down, which will make the job much fucking easier. It'll take us ages to get fucking south. 99% because we haven't got fucking... He's taking my son? Oh, fuck me. Yeah, he's dead. Lannister, don't be fucking stupid about this. Do not get your army killed or it's for fucked. Lannister, what are you doing? Do not get yourself killed. Do not get yourself killed. Balerian's making a mess of things. Do not get yourself killed, Lannister. Do not get yourself killed right now. Do not get yourself killed right now, because otherwise we lose the entire fucking war. If I lose the fucking war because Lannister gets his ass kicked, I'm going to be fuming. Shit. Yeah, please tell me that isn't game over. Come on, guys. You need to get it now. Now. Don't tell me that's the end of the war. No, it shouldn't be. It's not a major battle, that's the thing. Okay, we're fine. Yeah, Lannister, stay out of it. Get south, quick as you can. I'm gonna get south and grab my Lannister forces. Hey. I'll probably try and marry them off to each other just to keep the bloodline going. Hey, victory. We got that army. Nice. Run them down for now. And we can bring another army over. Maybe go on in Westeros at the moment. It's a peasant revolt. Not really. I like to always keep an eye. Oh, the Reese is dead. Killed in personal combat by this guy. What the hell happened there? Okay. He's dead. The Vale's not doing much. John the North's become dishonorable tyrant. That's going well. It's all going well up there, so it seems Claw might actually inherit the North. And that'll be... Oh, they've taken the correct little point. I'm guessing they just took it in a duel, a battle or something. Okay. Yeah, I think I might leave this on a bit of a cliffhanger, like how George R. R. Martin leaves Jon Snow at the wall, bleeding out for years. But leave him on a bit of a cliffhanger, I think. So I'm gonna go for lunch. But yeah, it seems pretty interesting. Orin does have a wife and kid who's now arrested. We need to break them out of fucking jail ASAP, like fucking immediately. So this campaign does hang on a bit of a balance right now. I may or may not have to give Orin the immortal trait so the series doesn't just die. But yeah. But yeah, everything's going pretty well. We've obviously taken New Valyria. We are now having a massive fucking fuck-off rebellion. Which I can only assume Orin will be, like, fucking beating the shit out of his vassals afterwards. But there will be hell to pay. And if his son dies, they're all dying. They will wipe out every single fucking lord. Every single emperor in the world will be, like, any fucking Lord of Atlantis will be incinerated. Like, he will fucking kill him. But that's all for this video. I hope you guys are enjoying this first episode of House of Dragon series. Now, it won't, you know, I don't know how long each scenario will go on for. We're going for however long I want to play for, really, I guess. You know, if it gets boring and nothing happens, then I guess we'll just move on, I suppose. We're probably just trying to negotiate annexation for most of these. See how it goes. See if we can actually get them without too much issue. But yeah, that's the goal. But yeah, next episode, not episode, I don't know if it'd be... This might still be with New Valyria, but because this might take a while if I want to conquer or retake the New Valyrian Empire. Maybe I might, I don't know. But see if we go away over to Giscard, and now we're going to take Westeros. So I might just take these lands, Bravos, then Westeros, and maybe potentially Sarnor, because it's starting to piss me off. Maybe Giscard to finish old enemies. Take back Orgosel, because that should be my rightful territory. What the hell's the Irons doing? Oh, I'm the elected monarchy war. Cool. Good luck with that, Ironborn. Oh, his son's dead. Ahead on yours. Oh, Jesus. There's shit going on over there. Taking the north would be kind of fun. Taking over Westeros would be fun. My allies, like the Lannisters and the Cohort, if they stay my allies, I'll leave them alive. And eventually, lore-wise, we'll say that eventually we annex them as they become part of our territory eventually as time goes on. But we'll see. I mean, when this guy dies, I think my alliance with them will die, so I probably won't end up invading Cohort at some point. Or maybe trying to reason with them. I think what we'll do, Orion will try and negotiate annexation with every single lords he can. And if that doesn't work, then he will just fucking conquer them. Orion isn't the type of emperor to sit there and bargain with, oh yes, I'll put you on my council. Oh yes, I'll put you on my council. I'll give you this royal right or something like that. Maybe the royal right he might let him keep. But Orion's here to restore New Valyria. He's not here to fucking fuck around. He's here to take the Empire of New Valyria, conquer all those that gets in his way. Out of the goodness of his heart and the, you know, some of his vassals are, stop trying to kill him. Some of his vassals are trying to, like, maybe convince him, oh, make sure you try and annex them if you can to avoid bloodshed. And Orion's like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. But Orion's going to sit there and make demands. Like, he isn't going to, like, listen to their demands. Like, he just, like... like, the Dagger Lake guy was off his fucking nut. Oh, this guy. Oh, yes, put me on your, you know, royal council. You're a fucking Roynar. You're... the Roynar Empire got fucking smashed to bits by Valyria. Sahoy is still ruined. This place is in ruins. Like, fucking... you're making demands of the fucking Emperor of New Valyria. Who the hell do you think you are? You're your foreign religion. You're Roynar. You're fucking... I mean, he's brave, I give him that, but fuck me, he's like... he's got some balls, this guy. But yeah, I mean, he is probably going to get invaded. Like, there's no way that Orion's going to be, like, back down. Like, this guy's just fucking pissing about. Yeah, he's... like, I mean, what I do, Orion will probably dragon conquest everyone. And then we're probably, like... maybe we'd, like, dragon conquest them. And then see if, like... and see how that goes. See if they bend the knee. They might surrender, or they might just die. We'll see what the hell happens. But, yeah. We'll see. But yeah, that's it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I probably wouldn't give him the immortal trait. So say if Orion dies, his son gets killed. If Orion dies, that's it. Like, he dies. That's the end of it. Like, I'm not going to, like, give myself a mortal trait. I'm not going to go... like, if I give myself mortal traits because I want to play as a character for a while, then, fair enough, maybe. But, we'll see. Stormkeep Borderick's dead. Assassinated. Now that his son took over, actually. That's interesting. Still holds Dragonstone, so what I do with that, I don't know. Maybe I give it to his son. But anyway, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and farewell.